Hello farmers and welcome back to Goldcrest Valley. Continuing in the month of August, last episode we harvested the big field, field number 5. And I was pleased to harvest 260,000 liters of wheat off that field. We will be doing some harvesting here in just a moment, but first things first, today we're going to be taking our 7250 case tractor and our Coon drill, direct drill, and we're going to plant some canola in the field right over here. Like I said, this year will be the last season, I'm pretty sure. But we're going to keep on farming as if we're going to be staying here for quite a while. So I want to come over here and top this off if I can. I always forget with this drill. Do I have to? Yeah, I got to open this on up, I think. All right, filled up with seed. And now we got to back out of the trigger, back in. And I should be able to get the fertilizer, hopefully. Maybe. Did I not get out of the trigger? Out of the trigger, in the trigger, trigger me. Okay. I will get fertilizer in it. I swear. I've done it before. There we go. We got it. Just got to find the sweet spot. All right, let's go ahead and fold that on up. Unfold this. And away we go. Now, technically, I could actually resell field number 5 because this being our last season here, I don't plan on replanting in that field. I mean, I would if I was going to be here for another spring and another year, of course. But since everyone wants to sell everything at the end of the series to see how much money we made, selling the field at some point we can definitely do. But I would definitely want to make sure I get all the straw bales off the field before I go ahead and do that. The bales technically should stay there, but let's not chance it. There's no rush in selling the field because I don't really need the money for anything. Currently, there's nothing for sale in the store that would help us out at all. And we are doing pretty good money-wise, actually. I think if most things came up that we do need on the farm, came up for sale, we should have enough money to cover it. Because at full price, the most expensive things are like at about $500,000. And if it's for sale, it should be going for like $300,000 at most. So we should be able to cover it. So canola goes into this field because a crop rotation would give us 110%. And since we can plant in August, we will do so. And I want to mix up the harvesting a little bit. I don't want to be harvesting constantly here, but it is late summer, early fall, and that's what we got to be doing around the farms. It's harvest time. Just like in, well, after harvest time in the fall till next spring, it's also planting time as well. The field in front of us, I did another double check on that. And nothing that we could be planting now. It looks like soybeans would be going in that field, and that would be next year. So once we plant this field here, it's all the fields around the farmyard are pretty much set for the end of the series. So it's just all the other fields that we haven't really harvested yet to see what those are going to need. Pick this on up and turn around here. And if you haven't figured it out by now, when Goldcrest does end, but I mean, we got a couple more weeks here. American Falls will be taking over the Goldcrest series. Oceanside Forest is going to be going on for a while longer because I got to cut down a whole bunch of trees to make room for more fields there to get more crop off the ground to feed 10,000 birds. And sometime next week, we will be doing the new map. I keep forgetting the name of it. I keep forgetting to check what it is. I keep wanting to say it's Erlingrad, but again, I may be wrong there. I'm thinking about maybe 5 or 6 episodes, possibly. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We're just going to be looking at the new crop types. The game, Farming Simulator, updated today to kind of get us in preparation for the premium edition with the new crop types. So we'll be having just a look at that. We're not going to have any research. I mean, we're going to have tons of money. We're just going to buy whatever we need, loan the money that we need. I'm not doing anything special on that series. We're just going to go ahead and look at the 3 new crop types, basically, and all the machinery that comes with it. It's all root crop stuff, which I'm not that big of a fan of doing, unless it's with the Mark Thor root crop harvester. But we can get through it, I think. We'll do just fine with the new crop types. And that should be coming out on the 14th. So you may see an episode on the 14th. It depends on what time they release it. Or you definitely will see one by the 15th. And there will be no Oceanside Forest episodes next week at all. So just be prepared for that in case you missed that notice in yesterday's episode of Oceanside Forest. Yeah, going right through where I just did with the drill, that is where we expanded the field. It's actually been a while, but this field here was separate from that field up there. We merged them together as one. Kind of nice using the Coon drill once again. We've been using the Avatar as often as we could because, you know, twice to working with. Why wouldn't you want to lease that and use it? Because the size of our fields, it would have been nice to see that come up for sale. Now, if it does come up for sale and we are done planting, I will still buy it because, yeah, trying to continue on as if we were playing here for many years to come. We definitely would upgrade the drill with the amount of fields that we do have. Yeah, now that I think about it, selling field number 5 right now, or the fields if we don't need them, I think we'll just wait until the last episode, then sell everything. So we can kind of see money-wise how we're doing. We can start putting in some guesses in on how much money maybe we will be making here. We came here with 2 million, so when we sell everything, we just got to subtract 2 million from the total, and we can see how much money we have made. Be kind of cool if there was a stat where you could see where your current value of your farm is at with your equipment, your land at least. Just to give you a ballpark idea of how much you are actually worth. Don't know what benefits it would actually give us, but this is a stat that sometimes it can be kind of interesting to see. I don't think we'll quite reach the 10 million mark. I think we're going to be kind of shy on that front. I don't even really... I mean, I think we should be over 5 million, right? That seems reasonable. The land value doesn't change. And we bought a good amount of fields since we've been here. And field number 5 was like $400 and some odd thousand. So, with the equipment, but the equipment, of course, is depreciating in value as we move along. Just like any vehicle, the price doesn't go up unless it becomes an antique of some sort, a collector's edition. But I don't think any of our farming equipment is part of the collector's editions yet. We will have to take care of the weeds in this field next month. At least we'll have some nice looking canola growing in for the rest of our time here. But we are reaching... I know there's still some people that say no, continue on with the series, but we are getting up near 70 episodes, and the views are starting to go down. Yeah, it's just that we don't really have anything else for set goals to do here. I can't think of... I've been trying to think of a way maybe to extend the series because people did like it at the beginning, but you know, we're not really struggling for money. We're not really struggling to get farming stuff done. We're kind of content the way things are. Buying more fields is not really something I want to do because keeping up with this many fields is starting to get a little bit... it's a lot on the plate, as they would say. We got a lot to do with the fields that we have. So the excitement of getting something new or expanding is not there for me. Someone did mention, well, I could go into the production buildings, which are rather unique on this map. That's why there was oregano for sale. Why is secondhand oregano? Maybe someone thought it was something else and not oregano. Maybe that's why it was for sale. I don't know. But yeah, I think the oregano has to go to the pizza shop. I think that's where that would go. I don't mind production buildings, as we know, but I've been trying to cut back on how many production buildings that we do run. I think Hinterland kind of wore me out on keeping up with all the production buildings. Even like on Oceanside Forest, we got all the production buildings on Sell Direct. The only thing I'm doing there is bringing the wood in and dropping off at the sawmill or the firewood production. That's it. And then they sell everything directly. American Falls, we may have a couple of production buildings there, but that'll be something only if it, you know, if it looks very, very, very interesting. And there are a couple of production buildings I would like to give a try, but I really need to get that series going. I mean, we are like 12 episodes in, but on that series there, we don't even have any land yet. That series there is kind of reminded me just like East Vineland. So if you did like East Vineland and had not been watching American Falls, you may want to dive on over to there. And it's starting to get a little bit interesting. I just recorded the episode you're going to see later on this afternoon. And yeah, I don't want to say too much about it because it's not out yet, but we did rather well today. Yeah, I should be able to finish this field with what we got here in the drill. But eventually we will have another series at some point that will be just like Goldcrest Valley, in the sense of that we can't buy any new equipment. We just gotta, you know, maybe wait for some used stuff to come up for sale. It did add that little bit of excitement when something did come up for sale in the store, because when you needed it, you know, it's not like, well, let's go to the store and buy it new. We got the money. No, we just, you know, we had to wait for it to come up used. This adds a little bit more of a challenge to it. And also being restricted to how many lease items we could have. A couple of times it was kind of tricky trying to figure out, okay, I got to lease this first before I can do that. So on and so forth. It wasn't that difficult, but you did have to think about it just a little bit of how you wanted to do your farm work. Not much usage on the seed, but the fertilizer we are going through at a good rate. But canola looks like it needs quite a bit of fertilizer. A couple more passes and we can fold up the coon drill. And then we'll head on over to the store area and harvest some more. I think that's wheat in that field. I got everything over there already that needs to be over there. The combine, the 8230 John Deere with a baler, and of course the truck with the lease trailer that we currently have. It's all set to go to get that harvest on in. And of course we'll be making some more straw bales. We got a hefty amount of bales in field number 5 I need to pick up, but since August is like the worst month to be selling straw, we're going to wait at least 1 month before we do that. Since I don't really need to be working in those fields, the bales are not going to be in our way. So I could even keep them there even longer. Nice to be back in the Case Pro tractor. Been a while since I can remember using it. A lot of controls over there. But it's one of those things, we don't know what they all do. It looks really confusing. But once you know what they all do, it's probably very simplified. And that field should be completed. Have a look behind us, make sure everything's good. Fold that on in. Let's go ahead and put it away. And I'm not going to try to back up in cab in Farming Simulator. No thanks. Been doing it too long in third person to try to get away from that habit of trying to do first person. And I can remember not long ago, a lot of people were saying, do more first person, do more first person. The second I started doing first person, everyone's like, just stay third person, don't do first person. You guys are having a laugh on that. Alright, in just a second here, we'll get the 8230 behind us. So this field here, I kind of forgot to plow last season. That'll be a job I think we will do once harvest season's over. I don't currently have a plow on the farm, so I'll have to lease one. And I gotta plow this field and then the cornfield. And the cornfield... Oh, gotta make sure I turn on automatic drop. Is that on? No, it's not. Now it is. Is it control N to reset baler counter? We'll do that. Although we can just look at the stats page as well to see how many bales we created. Should be the same setting as before, or maybe not. 25 meters, I think that'll be good. We'll try doing it that way. The cornfield, yes. Corn will be ready to harvest in October, but we're going to make it out of chaff in September. Now, depending on what farmer you talk to and what part of the country or the world or whatever, when you're making chaff out of it, the moisture content needs to be at a certain percentage. And so I see most of the farmers around here, when they're doing corn chaff to make silage, they do it while the stalks and everything are still green, just before harvest. So I'm guessing the moisture content probably needs to be around 30%. When they harvest corn, it's usually around the 15 to 20 low. Well, you probably don't want to harvest corn in low 20s because I think when they sell the corn, most people want the corn moisture content to be around 15%. That's why there's things like corn dryers, which there are corn dryers in the game as mods. But far as I know, unless there's a mod in selling it, I don't think there's actually really any benefit to do it, other than to make it just more realistic in some sense. If your corn moisture is too high, they don't want it. As is true for some of the other crops as well. But I'm not going to get too far into it because I'm not a farmer. I just pretend to be one here, and I don't do a good job at doing that either. I just realized I'm not going to make it back down because I'm 63% full. So let's jump and grab this, and we'll go unload while the combine is not in the crop. And already we've made the first bale. It probably shouldn't count. That looks like that was probably mostly full on the way down here, but 2 bales. So we're going to be making about 3 bales per pass. I've already topped off the chickens on feed, so everything's going to go into the silo. I'm trying to get back up to the combine, but don't really have that much room here. I think we got it now. I may have had room to pull forward and get the trail underneath the auger. I'm not too sure. But next time when I come up, I probably won't make it that far. 63% full in one pass. So I can go all the way down, be 63% full again, and probably make it halfway up. But then again, all depends on the soil type and the crop yield in that specific area. Let's go ahead and move this out of the way. So I didn't see who was working in the 8230. Is that Francine? Oh yeah, we are fine. We are perfectly fine. I think Frank did not like the way I treated him at the beginning of last episode in field number 5, to where he was following behind us and I made a U-turn in the combine, and well, I mean, he did run in the back of the combine, but you know, I told him to follow so many meters behind the combine, and well, one thing led to another. Frank left, And I think it was Francesca that may have taken over. I don't remember. So this field will need to be plowed, and the cornfield will need to be plowed. Then I got to check on the crop rotation. We got to see if we got to put crop in these fields this season. I'll try to do it as we go along. Since we already got a field of canola, I don't think I want another field of canola. But crop rotation will tell us what goes where. Alright, so this should take us probably like maybe 10 passes. Give or take, somewhere around there. Shouldn't take us too long, not like harvesting field number 5. That took quite a while to get that field done. But we'll benefit from that when we sell the grain in December. Well, let's go ahead and get this field harvested, and we'll see what we get for totals off this field. Looks like we will get at least 60,000 liters off this field, which is not bad considering that I kind of forgot to plow the field last season. So I think that reduces it by maybe 15%, somewhere around there. But still a pretty darn good yield. It's good, but it's also unfortunate. I'm not going to be able to fit all the grain, I don't think, into the grain trailer. So I'll probably have to come back, empty out the combine for like a few thousand liters. And a few thousand liters of wheat may give me $1,000, somewhere in there. But luckily it's a fast truck, so I can just zip back and forth from here to the main farm in no time flat. But I do have to empty out the combine because the next crop will be an oat field that we'll be harvesting. But that'll be for next time. And then of course in the future we still got that big canola field. You can kind of see off in the distance the yellow flowers of the canola. We do have a soybean field behind us. I think it's soybean. No, that's canola. I think that's canola as well. And then, of course, we got the cornfield that we talked about earlier. We'll be cutting that up in chaff in September with probably a leased forage harvester. And with the grain trailer that we're currently using, we'll be using that as well. All that will be going up to the BGA to be compressed, compacted, covered up, and we'll sell all that as silage in December also. We got to be out of here by the end of the year. I think I did the same thing as Solyndra, did we not? That we had to be out by the end of the season. It doesn't seem long ago that I was on Solyndra, but then again, it has been a while since we've been on Solyndra. How time goes by quickly. Francine did a wonderful job with the bales. Yeah, I don't think this 7,724 liters is going to fit into the trailer. So while this is unloading, let's see. So we had corn and then wheat. All right. Corn and then wheat. So if we put corn here and then wheat here. Looks like oats at 115. Oats would be next in this field, but we don't plant oats until the springtime. So, yeah, we are done with this field pretty much. But I'm still going to plow it later on. Yeah, still got 3,000 liters in the combine. We'll turn that off. And Francine, thank you very much. You did a wonderful job as always. Let's see, 24 bales is what we got off the field. Oh, I gotta dismiss Francine. That's why nothing is turning off. 24 straw bales. And, ooh, did I just notice something? Ooh, it does need some repair. I probably should repair that before I do some more baling. So what do we got in here left? 3,200. That's almost 60,000. Yeah, so 63,000 liters of wheat off the field. So along with the 260,000, that's 320,000 liters of wheat that we will be selling in the wintertime. Definitely going to be getting the big grain trailer for that, bigger than this, one that holds 120,000 liters. Make our trips count. Be 3 trips for sure, just by selling wheat. Let's bring this back to the farm and put it into safekeeping. We can actually check the stock market page and see how much we would get for the wheat. I still got to keep about 20,000 liters for the chickens. Like I said, we got to keep on farming as if we're going to be staying here, so I can't sell all the grain. I'm going to have to keep some of the wheat for the chickens for next season. And there is all of our corn to the left. I love driving down through here now, looking at the beautiful maple trees that we planted compared to the spruce and pine trees that were there before. Train just went on through, so I shouldn't have to worry about that. Alright, safekeeping. I can't check the stock market page until it's actually into the silo. If the grain's inside of a trailer, it doesn't recognize it. So it's got to be inside of a silo for that to work. Alright, stock market page. Wheat. So max price 407. Should get about $130,000 for it. And of course, that's without our environmental score bonus. But that's not that important currently. Everything else, the price is going down everywhere. Nothing to sell today. But I'm pretty sure we did that at the beginning of last episode because it was the beginning of the month. The one thing I haven't checked since the morning... Yeah, I think that was the stuff that was there before. Between this series and now American Falls also checking on the used equipment. Because at American Falls, we just don't have the money to be buying new stuff. I've been checking used stuff quite often in that series as well. Oceanside Forest, don't have to look at that at all because, well... I think we're at 13, 14, maybe, is it 17? Maybe even $17 million that we're on that series, but that's a different beast within itself. But another harvest on down. Like I said, we're not done with that field though. We will plow it. And of course we get the straw bales off it as well. Got to prepare the fields for the year that we won't be here. I know I keep saying that, but I will get asked questions like, why are you plowing the field if you're ending the series? Got to keep on, got to keep on farming. But anyways, that's going to do it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always. I'll catch you again right here in Goldcrest Valley. But until then, Have a good one.